Hi, I'm Keaton Keller. I'm doing my article on how to harness your anxiety. It's out of the New York Times, and the author is Alicia H. Clark. It was released October 16th, 2018. Right out the gate, the article it states a question. It's have we been going about anxiety all wrong? Um, how do we view anxiety? We view it as a stressful thing, something that we may fear, something that can hold us back and cause a lot of people stress in their lives. But we know that anxiety can be a debilitating thing. But if we go about it in moderate levels, it can be helpful for us. We can learn from those little times that this anxiety can be a good thing. We can use it to process things better than we could before. It also talks about the cognitive behavior therapy, where they go about the therapy and they change the thought process of how people think, how they view their behavior, and to be able to help them change patterns of thinking or behavior behind the difficulties that they are facing at the moment. Um, when we change our view from anxiety being an obstacle, um, and we change it to where we embrace it, it can become useful. When we overcome the anxiety or we embrace it, we will be able to know that this anxiety is nothing to fear, that we've been in the same situation before and we can overcome it, and that we will not have to fear it again. Um, the less harmful that you believe the anxiety is or the situation that you are in, the less harmful it will be. Um, and that's a very powerful thing, because just the way you go into a situation thinking of what it may be can have a big outcome on what is going to happen, and that can cause your anxiety to either spike or it can decrease at the same time. In her article, she uses a quote from Alia Crum, and it says, "Our minds actually change reality. In other words, the reality we will experience tomorrow is in part a product of the mindsets we hold today." So what we think is going to happen tomorrow in our lives will come to be what we want as a goal. We can reach that. But if anxiety is in our way, then we overthink it too much and we don't want, and we let it get the best of us, then we can go through hard times and face some struggles as well. She has three main points in her article as well, and the first one is think of anxiety as a signal. Um, you don't have to like it to use it effectively. That was something that stood out to me, because anxiety is something that a lot of people don't like. But the more that we use it to our potential, um, and we determine how our anxiety talks to us, we can use it better in our lives. The second one was label the feeling to steer your experience. So she says, pick out your anxiety and rename it. And when you rename it, in the process, it allows you to process it and to be able to know that it is nothing to fear and that your anxiety can be overcome. When you go about it with a positive attitude, it can boost our brain's ability to manage discomfort, and it opens up possibility for how you can channel your anxiety. So there are many different ways that we can channel our anxiety to help us out in certain situations. And then there's the third one. It says aim for the sweet spot. And it says a moderate amount of anxiety promotes optimal functioning, even if it throws you off. Um, a little bit of adversity is a good thing in life, and even if it may bring some anxiety, it will help you grow, and that anxiety will help you to understand that you don't need to fear your anxiety. It'll change your thought process of how you're going about things, and help you continue to grow. And you don't have to view it, anxiety, and treat it as an enemy, but you can embrace it and know that if you are facing anxiety, it could be a good thing. It could be a situation where, like, you're going on a first date, or you are going into a test, and or there's a deadline on an assignment, and if you go into that assignment and you need help, the anxiety will help you set goals to make sure that you get that assignment done on time. And surprisingly, anxiety keeps us on our toes and focused in times that we are struggling. When we are embrace anxiety, it dissipates to a point where it is useful. You get past the point of where it was a struggle, and now you use it to your advantage. And one thing that comes from that is hope. Hope rises from realization that we're in control. With that hope, we know that we can overcome the anxiety that we're faced with again, and that is a change in the thought process that you had before you faced anxiety. Um, when we take charge of our mindset, our emotional labeling, and our behavior is how you partner with anxiety and reclaim control. Um, so when you take charge of your mindset, you're able to change the outcome. You go into many different situations, and if you may have a bad mindset about things, then it will be bad. You'll have a bad attitude, and you'll have some super stressful anxiety in your life. And this article was really cool because I served a mission for my church, and we shared messages about Jesus Christ with people. And I had a lot of anxiety talking to people on their doorsteps or in the streets, just random people that I didn't know. And the more that you embraced it, the more that you got out there and changed how you thought people would react, made a big difference. And that was something that I noticed, and it helped me out a lot, is that anxiety can become useful, and it can help you out in the long run, and that is nothing to fear. Um, and that's it. That's the end of my article, and I hope you enjoyed it.